guys are completely aware of the Mclaren Mp4 12C, but I've been really looking deep into getting one, and at the moment they are pretty good price. Now, I've been scouring around on eBay or whatever, Auto Trader, online, McLaren dealerships, and I've found a couple of particular Mp4 12C for 90 grand, £90,000 for a supercar that is only, what, 4-5 years old? That is pretty crazy. Now, if I've been wondering why I'm looking at purchasing one, because obviously to the guys that regularly follow the channel or obviously know about my cars, obviously I do own a Mclaren 570S, and I'm currently driving this car as we speak. But I've seriously been considering an Mp4 12C. Now, obviously the two cars are very, very similar. Obviously this is a 3.8 V8 twin turbo car. It produces roughly 562 brake horsepower, but hence the 570, so thereabouts. But the Mp4 12C has exactly the same engine, 3.8 litre V8 twin turbo, but it produces 616 brake horsepower, brand new. Okay, so some of these cars now are a couple of years old, and they've now stopped making the Mp4 12Cs, so they don't make these anymore. So these, I'm thinking, in a few years' time are going to be worth a fair bit of money, because as it goes at the minute, a lot of McLarens are being crashed and knocked off the road and burnt. So I'm kind of thinking, why they are so cheap at the moment? Do I purchase one as an investment, or do I sell my Mclaren 570S and basically buy a Mp4 12C with that? Now, I've been looking around, like I said, and I've seen a few cars around that I've kind of kept my eye on. Now, let's just talk briefly about my Mclaren 570S. This isn't no ordinary Mclaren 570S. This is a very rare car. Now, what I mean by rare car is, this is a fully MSO spec'd car. Now, to you guys out there that don't know what MSO is, MSO stands for McLaren Special Operations. McLaren, like any other dealership at Aston Martin, have their own kind of like bespoke area within their company, and this is McLaren. It's a McLaren Special Operations. So you basically walk into a dealership, McLaren dealership, and you say, I want a Mclaren 570S. They give you a standard of specs, they give you a standard of colours, which is normally the McLaren orange, grey, palladium silver, black. They're the kind of standard. In fact, I think black is actually an MSO colour, but they give you like 4 or 5 standard colours that you can choose from, and then you can basically spec your car up even more if you want, and it's pretty crazy. So how it works is McLaren invite you to McLaren, and you go into the room and they give you tea and coffee, etc, 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 and you sit there and they just go bluff. They throw everything at you, every single solitary thing they can throw at you, they will throw at you, and they will give you colours, different spec, carbon specs, you name it, they will give you the lot. Now, when it comes to specking up a McLaren 570S, they literally give you 3 options. You've got a stage 1, a stage 2, and a stage 3. Stage 1 will literally give you like 1 carbon piece and maybe something different. So like, for instance, the engine bay, instead of it being palladium, it would be carbon. A stage 2 would be an engine bay carbon and side mirror. But then there's a stage 3, that basically means you get everything that you see that is palladium, black, silver, whatever you want to call it, and that will be carbon. So on this particular 570S, the carbon side mirrors are carbon, the front blades on the diffuser at the front, or the wing at the front, is carbon, all the door interior is carbon, the diffuser at the back is carbon, literally the roof is carbon, the engine bay is carbon. Everything is a stage 3 MSO package upgrade. But also, when it comes to upgrading the car, you can choose a different colour. So I've gone for a MSO Burton Blue. Now, Burton Blue basically originated in a really developing the 650S, and they brought the paint out for it, and they were going to call that Burton Blue, which is the name of the person that designed the paint for it. And this was going to be originally for the 650S. The original actual paintwork for the 570S was going to be some other blue. I can't remember from the top of my head. Tell me in the comment section below if you guys know. But it was basically going to be some other colour. Anyway, when the guy that actually painted the 570S, he actually painted it in the incorrect colour, which was meant to be for the 650. And he actually painted the 570 in the Burton Blue, which was meant to be for the 650, and then did the 650 in the other colour. And he messed up, and they basically kept it. So they basically now made this colour, this new colour for the 570S, and named it Burton Blue, which was the name named after the person that actually made the mistake of this person in McLaren. So that's basically where that comes from, that paint work comes from. Now this is an MSO paint colour as well as the 650S, so you can upgrade and they give you special names. So this is a upgraded MSO colour. Now if you guys obviously remember a video that I did a few months ago, I went to the Bewley car show. Me and my partner went down, we stayed in a nice hotel in the New Forest, and when we came out on one of the mornings, we noticed that someone had actually driven into my car and completely wrote the front end off. So that basically meant that the parts had to be sent off to McLaren, etc, etc, and they needed to find the paintwork for it. Now I've got a good friend that's based in MSO down in Bristol, and he basically got back to me and went, Scott, that paint doesn't exist. And I was like, well, it does, because it's clearly in front of me. He clearly knows it's there. He clearly knows it exists. So when he phoned McLaren up, they basically said, no, the paint doesn't exist. It doesn't there. I think you're wrong. And the Tim's like, no, this paint definitely exists. I'm sitting here now. I am staring at this paintwork as we speak. It definitely exists. Anyway, cut a long story short, a few days later, they managed to find this paint. And it turns out that this particular 570S is the only coloured Burton Blue 570S in the UK, and that was confirmed by McLaren. Now McLaren do have other blues that are very, very similar, hence why they messed it up on the 650S, because it is almost similar. But for this particular colour, the Burton Blue, this is the only car in the country that has this car on, and it has been 100% confirmed by McLaren. But also that makes this car very, very special is the fact that it's completely stage-free MSO, inside and out. It's carbon everywhere. The badges on the front and the back of the car are all carbon. The steering wheel is all carbon. The centre console is all carbon. The door seals are all carbon. Everything is carbon. You get the point. So this is a very, very highly spec'd car. Now, when you go onto like Auto Trader, for instance, and you look at the cars that are for sale, the 570s that are for sale, an estimated price at the moment are about 137 to 140,000 pounds. That's unspec'd. That's just standard with about 4,000 or 5,000 miles on the clock. But this has at the moment just over 12,000 miles on the clock. So you're probably thinking, you might not get much money for it. But this has actually been valued at 155 grand just because of the pure specifications on this car. Because it is an MSO car, there isn't any of them about. There might be an MSO car out there which is a 570, but not as spec'd as this car. Also, I forgot to mention that this car has been severely spec'd up as well, to the point where I've added a carbon rear spoiler on it, and the front carbon splitters have all been updated as well. Basically, McLaren worked with a company called Vorsteiner, which are based in Germany, Germany and USA, I think. They actually worked quite closely together to develop parts for this car. Now, I know of one car in the UK which has the rear spoiler on it and the front Vorsteiner, the 540C. I did know of a 570S that had the spoiler, but as far as I'm concerned, this is also the only 570S that's in the UK with the spoiler and the front splitters, with the MSO package and the paintwork. So this is a very, very, very unique car indeed. Now, the question is, why would I want to buy a McLaren Mp4 12C? Just because my reason is to it is because they're so cheap at the moment, and I reckon in a few years' time, excuse me, I reckon in a few years' time the prices are going to drastically rise and they'll be worth a lot of money. Now, like I said, the Mp4 12C is very, very similar to the 570S. Obviously, the Mp4 12C and the 570S. The 570S is the predecessor to the Mp4 12C. That is the predecessor to it. Well, actually 650S is, but in modern terms, the 570 is more on par with the Mp4 12C than the 650S is. Now you might be thinking, why don't I get a 650S? Why don't I go for a 675? I just personally think the value of a 650S or a 675 is just not worth the money they're written on, really. They're good cars, they perform very well, but the 570 is just such a better car in the long run, and because it is very, very similar to the it is very, very similar to the 540C, it just makes a good kind of car to go for, and it's crazy. And I'm a big fan of the Mp4 12C, and I personally think that it's something that I should maybe look into. Now, I want your guys' opinions on what I think I should do. Should I go for a upgrade? Should I upgrade or downgrade, as it is, to Mp4 12C? Because overall, on paper, the Mp4 12C is actually supposedly a better car. Now, top speed of a 570S is 206 mile an hour, thereabouts, where the top speed of an Mp4 12C is 216 mile an hour. It's pretty much the same engine. Obviously, this has got 570 brake. The Mp4 12C has got just over 600. So it is slightly better power output. You do get an extra 10 mile an hour, and for the price of it, I think it's something that I really, really consider doing. So really, guys, I need your opinion on what I think I should do. Do I sell the 570S and keep what I've got because it's a really, really rare car, or do I get the Mp4 12C as well as an investment, or do I just swap, or do I just leave what I've got and keep the 570S? And I need your help, guys. I think this is something that I should seriously, or am seriously considering doing, and yeah, I think it would be very, very interesting to see what your guys' thoughts on this are. Now, I think I might leave that just there. I'm going to take this car for a wash because before the light goes, because it's getting dark, and obviously I want to see what your opinions, guys, are. So anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. Please leave a like, please comment on the channel, and please remember to subscribe.